Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to have you here with today's live stream, where we will be diving deep into the art of public speaking. Whether you are looking to captivate an audience, deliver a message with power, or just fine tune those last minute details that take place, you are in the right place to learn those skills so that you will always be unforgettable. Today, I will be sharing my next 5 insider tips that will help you elevate your skills to the next level. If you are ready to engage, inspire, and learn how to leave a lasting impression, stick around. You won't want to miss this. I am Jayne Latz, also known as the communication trainer. And as many of you may know, I post a 1-minute video each week on all my social media platforms. As someone once said to me, who doesn't have time for 1 minute? And each year I have a theme. So it's 52 1-minute videos on that theme. And this year, it's all about advanced public speaking. Several years back, we did public speaking tips 101. So now it's to bring you to the next level. So everyone has a busy day. Why should you stay watching? Number one, you'll get some expert advice. You'll learn from my many, many, many years of experience in public speaking, in teaching, training, and delivering. You will get interactive Q&A. So if you are watching, please go right to the comment box. If you've joined me before, you know I love interaction. You know I love to respond to your questions, and I love to hear where you're calling in from, where you're watching from, because I do tend to get quite a universal, international audience, and I love connecting with all of you. So yes, post your questions and your comments. You will also walk away with actionable tips, practical advice that you can implement immediately. And who doesn't want that? So get comfortable. If you're anything like me, open your Google Drive, take out a notebook, and get ready to take notes. We are going to get started, and my numbering is a little off. You're expecting 1 through 5, but because these are sequential throughout the year, we are up to tip 36. So I don't want you to be confused, but we're starting with tip 36. And again, if you go to Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, you will be able to get the 35 1-minute videos that precede today. So 36 is handling difficult audiences. It's about developing strategies to manage challenging audiences, their behavior, and that you are able to maintain your composure. When you're on stage, and I call anything a one-on-one meeting or speaking to 1,000 people a stage, not every audience will be easy to engage. You might encounter individuals who are distracted, confrontational, or even outright dismissive. But here's the key: composure is your greatest ally in these moments. Many years ago, I spoke to an organization live in New York City, and they called me back every year. And I had some groupies who came every year. It was a 2-hour event. Yes, they got continuing ed credits for it, but you didn't have to come and listen to me if you didn't want. And this one year, this one individual was really throwing one curveball after another, constantly throwing questions at me. I apparently maintained composure, as I'm sharing with all of you, because I received a fantastic testimonial after, which is somewhere in my testimonials, but it was many years ago, where they actually commented on how well I was able to tackle those questions that kept coming at me. Made me feel so good because for all of us, it can be stressful and sometimes we feel like we're being attacked. But understand that difficult audience members often are reflecting more about themselves than you. Perhaps they're having a bad day, or perhaps they're just skeptical of the topic. Your job as the expert is to remain calm and collected so that they see you can handle anything that comes your way with grace. It's important to develop strategies in advance. Those will make all the difference in the world. And that is what we do at Corporate Speech Solutions. We work with business professionals just like you so that you too will always maintain composure under pressure. So for example, if someone challenges you during Q&A, listen carefully, acknowledge their concern, and then you may even want to steer the conversation back to the main points that you want to address. The goal is to not win over everyone, but to manage the situation professionally. By staying composed and adaptable, you will keep your speech, your presentation on track, and you will demonstrate the ability to handle pressure. That will leave a lasting impression on your audience. And again, your audience can be 1 or 1,000. So I do see someone commenting. Good morning, Anthony, and thank you so much. Welcome from Chicago. There's a lot going on in Chicago right now. As a minister, I'm always looking for ways to improve my speaking skills. Jayne, you have the superior insight on this matter. Thank you for helping us. Well, Anthony, I want to thank you so much. And we do get a lot of clergy over the years. You know, I'm doing this for 18 years. And a matter of fact, I am very excited because in September, I am actually traveling to another state. I want to not give away who, but I am being hired by a pastor to speak to about 25 people in their church. So, yes, it's an important audience. And thank you for reaching out. And if you have questions, be sure to put them. So, thank you, Anthony, for being here. So, tip 37 is the power of gestures. Gestures can reinforce your points and make your speech more engaging, but be sure to use them purposefully. We don't want to overuse them, and we want to use them to highlight an important point. Gestures are like punctuation points. They emphasize, they clarify, and they bring your words to life. When used purposefully, they can transform a good speech into a captivating experience, helping your audience to not only hear, but feel your message. Think of gestures as silent partners to your words. I like that. They can underline a point, illustrate a concept, or even convey an emotion. But the key is to use them with intention. Random or overly exaggerated gestures can be distracting, so it's important to align your movements with your message. I remember many years ago, I had a young woman come. She had just moved from Italy to work in her father's business in New York. And I video all my clients. In those days, we were in person. We videoed it and we played it back. And the whole conversation was her hands. And I said to her, she was from Italy, I said, I hope it's not sacrilegious to tell someone from Italy that you're using too many gestures. So you don't want people to just be watching your hands moving all the time. You want them to be purposeful, to emphasize a critical point. Purposeful gestures not only make your speech more dynamic, but they will help to engage the audience on a deeper level. They provide visual cues that can make your message more memorable, ensuring it resonates and lingers long after you've finished speaking. At Corporate Speech Solutions, our experts develop your confident public speaking skills by providing the training that includes the impactful use of gestures. And I am very excited that Dr. Damalier also reached out. Thank you from Nigeria. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. We do tend to get many individuals from Nigeria. I know there's a big time difference, so thank you for joining. And for everybody watching, I do want you to know that we really do try hard to pick times for the live streams that work for our audience around the globe. Please be sure to post any questions that you may have in the comment box. And I thank you again for attending and introducing yourself. So let's go to tip 38. This is about cultural sensitivity, being aware of the cultural differences when you are speaking to a diverse audience. And in today's world, we all have diverse audiences. So it's important to respect and adapt to the different norms. In our increasingly interconnected world, cultural sensitivity is more important than ever. When speaking to a diverse audience, your words have the power to unite, but only if they are delivered with the awareness of cultural differences. Many years ago, I worked with a very, very high level Japanese employee. He was the chairman of the international company, and we worked closely for 4 years. The other day, one of my clients came back from Japan. I have not been so lucky to visit there yet. And she was talking about their strong culture, how it impacted her as a tourist. And while I had this amazing relationship with this individual, it made me realize, wow, I'm so lucky that I had that relationship, because I probably was very American and probably did things very different than he was used to in Japan. So it is important to be very sensitive to the cultural norms. And there is a great book called How to Kiss, Bow, and Shake Hands, if you haven't seen it. And that does help. My version's a little outdated, but I'm sure it's been updated many times. By adapting your speech to align with these norms, you're not only showing respect, but you're also increasing the likelihood that your message will be well received. For example, in many cultures, direct eye contact is a sign of confidence in the Western culture, for sure. However, in other cultures, it can be considered disrespectful. In all the years I've been providing training on nonverbal communication as well as verbal communication, when we're doing business here in the United States, we do work with our clients, no matter what culture they're from, to adjust to the norms of the Western culture, because this is where we're doing business. So yes, eye contact is very important in building trust and relationships. I do see another comment has come in, and I am delighted that this is from a friend and colleague. So, hi, RJ. Thank you so much for tuning in. RJ is a spectacular speaker and coach herself, so you all may want to follow her as well. And thank you for joining from California. We definitely have people from many different time zones. Thank you, RJ, for taking the time. So we are now going to go into tip 39. And wait, just as I said that, Anthony is commenting again. Silent partners to your words. Wonderful perspective. I naturally use purposeful gestures when I speak. Thank you for this tip. Now I don't feel so weird. No, Anthony, no. My husband often says, is it possible for you to speak without your hands? And he just doesn't understand how important those gestures are. So, Anthony, remember, as long as you don't use them excessively, don't feel weird. They will enhance your message. So, tip 39, so important in all professional communication, is the power of empathy. It's so important to understand and relate to your audience's needs and to create that strong connection. It's a powerful tool. When you take the time to understand and relate to your audience's needs and emotions, you go beyond mere communication to create that genuine connection. It starts with putting yourself in the audience's shoes. Think about, what are their fears? What are their concerns? What are their desires? By understanding their perspective, you can address their specific needs. You may have seen on our community tab a poll that was prepared kind of to rev up to this meeting. And if you don't watch my community tab, you're missing out. On YouTube, we have a very active community tab, and we post, I would say, I try to post once a week. But this week, in preparing for this, we did a poll about what your biggest public speaking challenges are. And delivering with passion and conviction was second to top, but handling difficult audiences was the greatest concern. And we did address that earlier. So if you missed that, you want to replay this. But I did want to take this minute to bring your attention to the community tab of my YouTube channel at The Communication Trainer. So in order to convey empathy when you're speaking, use language that acknowledges and validates their feelings. Of course, in a large audience, there's many different emotions and feelings, which is why I always have a pre-meeting with the facilitator of any meeting where I'm doing presentation on a large scale. So I understand the needs and challenges of that particular audience. And then I do customize it and create the stories that might be more relevant to that audience. So by really considering empathy, you're just going to be more relatable to the audience. For some people, empathy comes natural. For others, it does take practice. So we are going to go into, pause. Thank you, Doctor, for another comment. Using hand gestures, do they apply the same way for virtual meetings as they do for physical meetings? That is a great question. And if you have not yet watched some of my YouTube videos, you may want to, because I have so many on virtual communication. You do have to be mindful. Certainly, your gestures have to be above the fold, right? In person, you're not as worried because you're standing there in person. You definitely want to make sure that your eye contact is to the camera. You're not looking down. You're not looking at a screen. If anyone remembers, in 2020, we all looked at a lot of foreheads and a lot of cheeks. Now I think the majority of people have mastered looking at the camera. So that eye contact is so important, but keep your hand gestures above the fold so that if they're intentional, people will see them. Thank you. Thank you, doctor, for posing that question. And before I go into my last tip, I don't want to assume that you all know me. So let me introduce myself very quickly. Some of you know I'm Jayne Latz, also known as the communication trainer and the proud author of Communicate Up the Corporate Ladder. I founded Corporate Speech Solutions, I still cannot believe it, 18 years ago to empower individuals just like you and organizations to communicate with greater impact and influence in all situations. Our team provides private one-to-one training as well as independent courses for the self starter, the independent worker. And very soon, we are going to be doing group training, group sessions once a month, facilitated by me. They're only going to meet once a month, but if you want more of me, that will be a great opportunity. So, how will you find out about that? Certainly in our live streams, but you would like to go to my website, which is posted here, get on my mailing list, be the first, be in the founding group. So be sure to visit the website. Our training will set you up for success. It's a brand new website, so take your time, explore it, look at our free resources. There's a great deal of valuable information, great blogs as well. So now, drum roll for the last tip. And doctor, you are very welcome. Yes, definitely go check out those related videos. For the drum roll, our last, why did I get a thumbs down? Uh, my colleague and I were just discussing this. Does anyone else get those bubbles and those thumbs up and hearts when they're speaking? I have no idea when they come out, but if anyone knows, please share in the comment section why sometimes my gestures will get a thumbs up, or as the case may be, I just got a thumb down. So, lastly, is to connect emotionally. Convey your passion and your conviction. It's really easy for me when I speak about public speaking to engage emotionally because if you haven't watched a lot of my videos, I was a painful introvert for not just like up until I was 10 years old, the first half of my life. I went through all my educational years so shy that I couldn't even raise my hand. So I am passionate about delivering these tips so that that doesn't happen to you. I want you to always be able to speak up and be heard and to deliver your message with power, purpose, and passion. Emotion is the heartbeat of effective communication. When you engage with your content on an emotional level, you're not just delivering a message, you're inviting your audience to join you on a journey that's filled with passion and conviction. And not to pat myself on the back, but one adjective that people use all the time when they've attended one of my events is that I'm passionate about the topic, and I am. People will be drawn to speakers who are passionate. I'd like to believe that. When you speak with genuine emotion, it shows that you care deeply, and that energy can be infectious. Your audience will feel your enthusiasm, your excitement, your care, your joy, and whatever that emotion is, they will feel it. So, to engage emotionally, start by finding out what truly resonates with the audience. What aspects of the message do they feel strongly about? Tap into those feelings. Don't be afraid to express your emotions openly. If a story moves you, let that emotion show. I shared about my experience with one of my favorite clients many, many years ago from Japan. That was a personal story. It was a vulnerable story. I might say I did wrong, but thankfully it didn't impact our wonderful relationship. Remember that emotions are contagious. Be sure to share your genuine feelings. You're not just communicating a message, you're creating an experience. And when it comes to public speaking, it is an experience. You want to bring people in, you want to engage them, impact them, influence them, and you want to be unforgettable. So remember that mastering public speaking is a journey. It takes steps. In my book, the book has steps because we're communicating up the corporate ladder. It takes those steps to get you closer to being an impactful speaker. And as you continue to refine your skills, keep these skills in mind, these tips. Learn how to handle the difficult audiences with composure. Practice cultural sensitivity. Connect with empathy and engage with emotion. These strategies will not only help you to deliver more powerful presentations, but will also build stronger connections with your audience. We're almost coming to an end. I see a question or a comment. I'm going to look at it. If you have those last minute questions or comments, make sure to post them because we are on the wrap up stage. But sorry, last question. Anthony, I am here for you. The more questions you ask, the more I feel that I am connecting with you. So do not apologize. Thank you. Remember, when I was that introvert, I couldn't raise my hand and ask questions. What if your topic is not resonating with your audience while you're presenting? How do you quickly pivot to spark interest? I experienced this recently. Today's lesson was great. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. I'd love to know, and it might mean we need to have a private conversation. I'd love to know, what was it, the topic that wasn't resonating, or was it your delivery? Because let me tell you that as a professional speaker, a lot of people don't resonate with me, the way they deliver their message. So was it your delivery or was it the message? You can certainly put that in or reach out. All my information is coming through now. You can email me. You could set up a call. I'd be happy to speak further. But think about whether it was the topic or the delivery. Again, for all of you, feel free to book a call with me. That's what I'm here for. I'm happy to discuss how to develop your skills to be a more impactful communicator. So thank you for being here today. I know we're all so busy. We have so much going on. I try to keep my live stream short, and I am so grateful and so appreciative for each and every one of you that viewed and participated. So thank you. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you.